Telepathy.
Telepathy.
Your favorite podcast on the internet.
With Enzo Antonio and Anna Catherine.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Telepathy. It's episode 97 of your favorite podcast in the entire world. The world's favorite podcast, except actually currently my neighbors are sawing down a tree and it's really loud. So I don't think Telepathy's their favorite podcast.
Obviously not their favorite podcast.
Right,
they
because
would know.
they're doing the most. It's really loud, but hopefully you can't hear it. I'm going to try to be close to the microphone so then I can remove the excess sound and it'll still be clear because #audio engineering per. Anyways, so we are coming to you today as two high school graduates. We haven't been able to say that always because I did just recently graduate in June.
That, the way you said that made me feel like I just graduated high school.
Congratulations, class of 2029 or 2025. I'm class of 2029 for college. That's why I said that.
Oh, okay. I was like, who the heck is graduating anything in 2029? And then I was like, oh, wait, you.
This is actually just like a dream and you time traveled.
I was high school class of 2021 and college class of 2025, which 2025 and 2021 are both very satisfying numbers to me.
Mm-hmm. Class of 2029, I'm like, maybe I should graduate in 3 years because 2028 sounds better. But anyways, today we're coming to you as two people with high school diplomas, and we are here to give advice because, okay, talk about your high school guide that you made back in whenever you graduated, 2021, when you graduated.
Oh, the video?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. One of my favorite YouTube videos I've ever made, still to this day, is like how I survived high school, something like that. And
isn't it like I survived high school and here's how you can too, or something like that?
And you should too, or like, and you can too,
you
something
should
like that.
too.
I should have actually watched it. Yeah, I should have actually watched it in preparation for this video. But maybe it's good to like not, because then I won't be like repeating myself. I can like think new thoughts. But yeah, now I've graduated college too, so I have the like full perspective, which I think is an interesting perspective of like, of like just graduating college, because it puts high school into an even different light of just like, it's literally not that big of a deal.
Yeah. And also, of course, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff that could be applicable to incoming freshmen. But even if you're going into your sophomore or junior year, or even if you're not even from the US and high school looks very different for you, I feel like we'll still be able to give you some sort of advice that you can take from this video and go out in the world and just do your wonderful things, you know? So Telepathy has you covered in this episode.
Yeah, because we just always have the best advice. I don't think you can leave a Telepathy episode without getting some sort of advice.
Exactly. Anyways, so as we do in every single episode, we start off with our camp question, aka our icebreakers, because we're at summer camp and we need to get to know each other better. Us and you, because you can actually answer the question too. There's actually a fun way you can do that, which Anna can explain in just a moment. But okay, it's my turn to come up with it because it's 97, which is an odd number. So name, age, and what was your favorite year of high school, and or rank your high school grades. Not your grades, like your grade levels. Give us a ranking. Right. I feel like I made that so complicated.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, first off, my name's Anna. I'm 22. And this is hard. Like, I feel like I don't remember high school well enough anymore. I'm going to say senior year was my favorite, even though it was like COVID. Like, the first half was the end of COVID. But we still did like prom and graduation, and like, I just felt the most comfortable that year with like myself and my friends. I'm gonna say junior year was the second best, even though it was COVID.
Okay,
honestly,
that's I feel like an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I just liked quarantine school. Maybe sophomore year was, maybe it's just descending from senior to freshman year, but I can't remember. I'm trying to remember which year had the most like friend drama, and I think it was sophomore year. But then sophomore year was also like when I did like fun stuff. I don't like Skills USA I started doing Skills USA in sophomore year. But I'm just gonna say freshman year was the worst because I did marching band. Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
freshman year was the worst.
So hi, I'm Enzo. I'm 18 and okay, I'm going to say senior year was the best, but this doesn't come without an explanation because I feel like everyone always says that senior year is the best. But for me, that was mostly because we did The Little Mermaid, which is literally my favorite musical. And there was like dream role. So it was like, it has to be my favorite year. But I will say it was not what everyone hyped it up to be because I feel like there kind of was some friend drama and it wasn't this everyone's happy and ready for college. And also college application season got me so good. Like that was 10 out of 10 would not do again. But yeah, other than that, I think definitely towards the end, it got easier, even though the senioritis, like I was very burnt out academically, but I think that my schedule kind of worked out to where after AP exams, I could kind of just take a step back and stuff. And with Scooby-Doo, it wasn't my first time putting on an original musical, so I kind of knew that a little bit better. I think in second place is going to be like sophomore year was rough, but maybe it's in second place because I feel like the musical that year, yes, it was very draining and there was like a lot that went with it, but it ended up being really fun and it was like a dance heavy show, which I enjoyed. So maybe that's second place. And then freshman year is going to be third place because I think that I did actually make a lot of great friends and my classes weren't terrible. So I feel like sophomore year and freshman year are like somewhat tied. Like freshman year is almost second place. I feel like it's just not because it's freshman year. And of course, there's a lot of weird stuff that go with it. And then that kind of difficult transition from middle school to high school, which we're obviously going to be talking about in today's episode. And then in last place, of course, has to be junior year because academically, I took 5 APs and they got me so good. I had A Push, AP Psych, and APES, AP Environmental Science. I feel like me saying all the little nicknames, people might get confused, but I had all those in one semester and no, they got me so good. And then I had pre-calc the semester before. And if we remember my YouTube videos during that time, I constantly complained about that class. I'm not a math person. So that class was not it for me. And then of course our school did Little Women that year, which I really like Little Women, especially the musical. But a lot of things happened and I ended up not doing that show, which is kind of sad because I do enjoy that show and I love theater, but that was obviously really sad to not have a junior year musical. So that's why she is in last place.
On our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod, we sometimes do little interactive things and we post also just like we've been posting the Telepathy mag, which is issues of a magazine every time we post an episode. Basically, it's
all for free.
It's just a little, yes, all for free. It's just a little thing that we're doing for our like Y2K type of aesthetic. But yeah, stay tuned on our Instagram for any sorts of updates.
Yes. So now moving on to movie and TV shout out, I finally only picked one song for this week, which is good because I've been having multiple.
Music and TV shout out.
Did I say movie?
Music and you said movie and TV, which it's technically music shout out and then movie and TV shout out, but music, movie, and TV shout out, yeah.
Right. It's kind of like music, what we've been listening to and what we've been watching on the TV. Like TV doesn't necessarily mean television as in like TV show.
Oh,
it means like what's on your TV screen, you know? Also, I think the song finally stopped next door.
What's on the TV?
Exactly.
Do you remember that song?
Is the milk in the fridge? Is the bathroom pretty clean? Me and Anna had some beef over this.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, putting our beef aside, I'm shouting out this week Objects in the Mirror by Mac Miller. Mac Miller. I just keep listening to his music and it's just, his whole discography is so good and it has this such a good vibe and such a good sound. And so that's why I just keep coming back to him. R.I.P. of course. It's literally so sad every time I think about it. And then in terms of what I've been watching, I'm still watching Love Island. That's nothing new, but it's getting heated up in the villa. Sierra is gone. So more on that on my YouTube channel coming soon.
Ooh, yay. I don't watch Love Island, but I'm excited. My music shout out. Okay, so my music shout out is kind of tied into my movie and TV shout out. Both of the 2 recent movies I've watched with my mom have had like David Bowie soundtrack as like David Bowie has been like a what's the word? Integral part of the soundtrack of these 2 movies that I've most recently watched. So then I just started like listening to David Bowie a bit more. And so I'm going to shout out um, Moon Age Daydream, which is my favorite song this week from him, but I'm sure it'll change very quickly. And he definitely, like, I definitely see the Declan McKenna. I definitely see how Declan McKenna was inspired by him. I used to like not understand, but now I'm like, Declan McKenna is basically just copying him, but that's totally fine. So I love it because it's like I just am kind of listening to more Declan McKenna songs that I haven't heard before. And then the movies, hold on. I watched two recently. One was called The Life Aquatic by Wes Anderson. It's a Wes Anderson movie. And it was honestly like my favorite Wes Anderson movie that I've seen.
Ooh.
And then I watched, oh, my AirPod just fell out. I watched this movie called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty with my mom. And it's kind of just like a comedy. Where did my AirPod go? Anyways, it's kind of just like a comedy movie, but then it gets a lot more like deep later in the movie. So it ended up being really good. At first, I thought it was just gonna be like a kind of surface level comedy movie, but then it ended up having like more of a deeper message. So I enjoyed. Any week updates for you?
Yes, I went to DC to celebrate my mom's birthday / the 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
Which was fun, and went to some museums, which I loved. I think I've officially decided that the African American Museum of Culture, it has like a full name, but it's one of the Smithsonian ones in DC, and it's so good. It's my second time going, and just the whole, like just the way it's organized and how everything's kind of in chronological order, and then you get to the pop culture stuff is so good, and I just really like that museum a lot. So that was fun, and then still just been on my Love Island and I've been trying to think of YouTube video ideas, especially with going to Italy soon. I want to like get all those recorded and stuff before I leave for Italy. So those are my updates. What about you?
I went home for the 4th of July weekend and nothing too crazy. We just kind of chilled at home and back to work today. I also am planning to have a YouTube video up later this week, probably
I'm so excited.
Friday or Thursday. So, and I'm currently filming another YouTube video. So like we're back.
Oh, we're so back. We're so
Yeah,
back. Oh
and
my
I have
gosh.
ideas for like the next few weeks. So like we're so back. And I have a special surprise coming. So we are going to be pre-recording a lot of episodes this week before Enzo goes to Italy. So this surprise that I'm talking about will probably not, you probably won't see it till like 3 weeks from now, but I have a little surprise coming related to my appearance.
Oh. For a second, I was like, wait, what is this about? I know
Yeah,
it now.
no.
Okay.
No, I just want to surprise you guys when it happens. But
Yes, facelift incoming. And I'm just kidding. But yeah. Okay. Should we begin?
yes.
Okay, so I had a few little pieces of advice that were kind of disorganized, but I think that one of my first ones, which I feel like is good if maybe you're an incoming freshman or just an underclassman, but don't wait to join clubs or do extracurriculars is my first piece of advice, because I feel like there's so many people, at least I know in theater, who joined kind of later and then finally it's their senior year. And at the end, they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I'd have done this earlier or something. And I know for me, I don't know if I've talked about this before in the podcast, but during my freshman year, I knew that I was interested in theater, of course, and wanted to maybe do that at some point in high school, but they had some sort of drama club / theater interest meeting. And I remember going to it and being really overwhelmed and seeing that everybody was already friends and everyone had this tight bond already. So I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, like how I could, thrive in this. And so I ended up deciding, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to audition for the fall play. But then a few days had passed and I kind of was like, wait, maybe I should. So on the day of, I spontaneously decided to audition, and my audition was not good. I can't even lie, but I got a call back. And I remember then after that, like I'd gone to the callbacks and already there was these 3 girls that were kind of talking to me, and I remember they're like, good luck. And all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, we were like holding hands, manifesting good roles and all of that. And then we kind of looked at each other and we laughed and we're like, then one of them was like, wait, what's your name? Like, it was almost funny how we were already talking and laughing as if we were so close, but it's like, wait, who are you? So then from there, we got to know each other. And then I did the show. And honestly, the fall play my freshman year was like one of my top experiences in high school. And so I think that like I'm glad that I had decided to follow through with that because I don't know, like I feel like I could have just given in to my fears of being like, oh, like everyone's already so close. Maybe I'll do this later on. And then from there, I guess like joining in later on in high school would be even more intimidating. So just getting that out of the way freshman year and just kind of throwing yourself out there is such a good way to meet people with similar interests. And so that was just like a really good experience. And maybe I'm partial, but like theater is kind of better than literally anything else. So do it.
Yeah. That's still my like two, not really regrets, but like things I wish I had been able to do in high school were like,
Yeah.
one of them was theater. And
In
like,
an alternate reality, I feel like you did do theater.
yeah, in an alternate reality, I definitely did. And like, I only didn't do it because it's such a commitment and I had, it's like a time commitment and I had so many other things that I was doing. Also like freshman year, I did marching band during the fall. So I didn't like have the opportunity to be like, let me try theater, which I hated marching band, but like, I don't regret doing it because it was like, an experience and I can say that I like did marching band in high school, but I dropped out
Exactly.
like after freshman year.
No, exactly. And like you started it and then realized you didn't like it. So then you stopped doing it. And so it's kind of like now you know that this wasn't the thing for you. But, if not, maybe you would have been like junior year kind of wondering like, would I have enjoyed marching band? Like you can actually like live
Yeah,
with the idea of knowing, okay, I tried it, didn't love it, didn't do it again, but at least I did it. You
that's
know what I mean?
true. But on the flip side, I didn't ever try theater and I wish I had at least maybe like auditioned. I mean, but if I auditioned, like I definitely probably would have been an ensemble or whatever. At least like, I'm not saying like I wouldn't have gotten into theater at all. So if I auditioned, I probably would have gotten to at least take part in it. But yeah, it's such a big time commitment. You have to be like, that is your like thing in high school. And I just had so many other things I was doing. But like I did, luckily, like freshman year, I also like better with, oh, sorry, I'm like scatterbrained.
Literally
it just
me.
popped into my head this memory of this freshman year. So I was in like this digital media program throughout all 4 years of high school. And that's like where you learn the Adobe products, and that's where I learned about graphic design. I joined it because I wanted to learn more about film, because at that time I like was pretty sure I wanted to do film, which didn't end up happening. But I one of my like first days in the digital media classes, one of the teachers recommended me. She's like, "Oh, there's a film club. You should like go to that and see what it's like." And so I was like, "Okay." And so I went, and it was just all of these like senior guys that were
The
in
film
the digital,
bros.
yeah, the film bros, literally. They were in the digital media academy, but they were seniors and they were just like, some of them were also like football guys, and I just felt like very out of place, and it was like the most awkward hour of my life because it wasn't even like the club meeting wasn't really like they did anything. I think it was the interest meeting, so they all just kind of talked, but they were all already friends, and I was just this little like freshman girl, and they were just all like already friends, and it was like so awkward.
Oh my
And then at the
gosh.
end, they like obviously wanted to be nice and include me if I wanted to be in the club. And so they were like, we communicate for this club, we communicate on Snapchat. And so they added me to
Stop.
their like Snapchat group. And I like immediately left. Like as soon as I left the building, I like left the Snapchat group because I was like, this could go really badly.
Yeah, you're like, no.
Yeah, and then I was never to be seen again at film club.
That's so funny.
So, the moral of the story is even if it could go terribly like it did for me, At least you have like a story to come out of it.
No, exactly.
Um,
And also, I honestly feel like freshman year is the time to try these things because this is one of my next points, or like one that I had kind of connected to this one. And I feel like I'm going to sound really annoying with this one, but the workload will pick up. I think I remember starting high school and kind of thinking like, oh, everyone kind of hyped this up to be like way harder than it is. Like, oh, this is not that bad. But the workload will pick up and that's okay. But I think that that's why freshman year is so good to kind of just like explore friend groups and different clubs and whatnot, just to kind of find like what you like and maybe like where your place in the school will be, as corny as it sounds. But I think that freshman year is the time to do it because I think that it's hard to try new things when you're kind of adjusting to, bigger workloads that come along with some of the classes. Like for me, chemistry and pre-calc and just some of the more like upper level science and math classes were definitely something that was like a little bit of an adjustment for me. And so I was kind of glad that I had already established myself in the theater program and I didn't have to worry about establish myself. It sounds so dramatic, but I was
yeah.
able to like be
I wasn't saying
familiar.
yeah to the dramatic thing. I was saying yeah to. I'm following what you're saying.
Yes. Um, like I kind of at least knew the process of auditioning and how that all went and like how to manage your time with theater. So I didn't have to worry about, adjusting to that new workload while also having these harder
Right.
classes. So I feel like it's good to do freshman year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, guys, if I look different, it's because I just switched cameras to an iPhone 14. And honestly, like, why does the quality is really good, but also like I look so different than on the EOS.
No, the actual camera kind of like smooths out my skin a little bit, and then like I film on my phone, and I'm like, oh, hello pores. But
Yeah. No,
it's
I'm
so
like,
funny the new technology mishaps that happen in every single episode. It's like
I know.
every time. It's so funny though.
I just no matter how much I think I'm prepared, I'm just not
It's okay.
ever.
The telepathy studio will come one day, hopefully. But
Yeah. Also
anyways,
though, like I guess my camera was kind of out of battery because I filmed this morning, but like it wasn't I didn't film very long at all, so I'm just confused.
yeah,
Anyways,
no, my battery sometimes is weird. Like sometimes it'll last for so long, and other times I'll film like one clip, and I'm like, why is it blinking? Anyways, though, do you want me to just keep going with this list, or do you have any sparked thoughts
hold on.
now?
You can keep going with the list because I feel like it's bringing up good conversation starters.
Okay, true. I'm literally about to sound like I'm on Love Island, but my next one is follow through with acquaintances in class. I feel like there's so many friendships that could have been bigger, but I just never made the effort to like make something of it. I don't know if it sounds dramatic, but I feel like there's so many people that I met just in classes. And we grew like really close in the class, but we never really talked that much outside. So I think that one of my biggest piece of advice, or my biggest piece of advice slash one of my regrets in high school, is not telling that one person, just be like, do you want to do something this weekend? Or at least just trying to talk to them in a setting that wasn't that class, because I feel like there's so many connections, as we say on Love Island, that could have grown, and just like as like literally as we say in Love Island, explore those connections, because I think sometimes you get caught up with, people that you already know, especially with going through the different grade levels. Like maybe your first semester of sophomore year, you're going to kind of be clinging to the people that you hung out with freshman year. But maybe now, like you've all kind of found different extracurriculars and you don't have the same lunch or you don't have the same classes or something like that. So now it's like seeing them is harder and like that's fine. Like you can make time to see them, of course. But I think also it never hurts to kind of nurture those connections. I literally have adopted the Love Island lingo, but nurture the connections and
That's
follow
so
through
funny.
with the people that you've met just in different stuff. Because sometimes there's people that I'm like, oh, I feel like we normally wouldn't be friends. Like I wouldn't gravitate towards you normally, but in this class, like we've become close, and I feel like that's sometimes a cool thing to follow up with. So that's my next piece of advice. I feel like this is a big brain dump episode.
I definitely agree, and I definitely feel like I learned a lot in high school about like how to socialize. Like I went in as I feel like a very socially awkward person or just like shy, and then I kind of like learned more throughout about like how to make friends and stuff. And I still like feel like I use this story a lot, but like my best friend, one of my best friends from from high saying college, which is weird saying college now because I'm like I feel like I'm yeah I feel like I feel like I graduated from high school so long ago. But like one of my closest friends from high school, we had class together first semester of freshman year, and we like didn't talk to each other at all, and we weren't friends. We just never really thought to like talk to each other, and then second semester we ended up being in the same class together again, and she recognized me from English class, and she was like, "Oh, hey Anna, do you want to sit here?" And I was like, "Oh, sure." And I was like, I like didn't really even know that she knew who I was or whatever. So then we sat together that semester, and like we ended up becoming like best friends throughout high school. So I feel like it's always that type of thing where it's just like you can totally change who you're friends with by just saying hi one day to someone, which is so weird to think about, and it's like overwhelming me to think about, but it's kind of like the butterfly effect of like you could change your whole life by just saying hi to a different person or like sitting next to a different person. So yeah, I definitely recommend like I don't know, it's hard. Like I don't really think I would if my high school self, if my freshman year self was listening to my current advice, I don't think I would listen to it of just like
Me.
be open to like talking to more people or whatever because it is like so hard. But I guess just like try your best, and also like as high school moves on, you'll get better at it as you make more friends. And honestly, like I was really not great at it through all of high school, and it was more college that I was like way more better at making friends. So I think it's just
Yes,
it's just a process.
for sure. Okay, one of my next ones is take electives that interest you and start that as soon as you can. So, for example, well, I keep bringing up theater, which is, I probably sound really annoying, like a broken record at this point, but basically, at our school, we have different levels of classes. So there's like academic, which is basically just the standard level, and then there's honors and then AP. And of course, based on the grade that you get in each of those classes, it can impact your GPA, or like AP classes are weighted more. Um, and so as I got, further along in high school towards my junior and senior year, I only took honors and AP classes just because I was focusing on getting my GPA high for when I applied for college and stuff like that. So I didn't take a lot of the academic classes then. But the thing is, a lot of the beginning courses or like the entry level courses for some electives are academic. So I think it's good. It's like I took beginning theater when I was a freshman, and then sophomore year I took intermediate, and then so junior and senior year I could take advanced and proficient or whatever, which were honors level courses. And I remember applying for classes or registering for classes, whatever, some years, and looking at, like there's like a foods class, or there's newspaper or yearbook or something like that. And a lot of these different classes that I wanted to take, but because I hadn't taken the entry level course, then I would have to start at the beginning. Then it would be like just the academic level classes. So I'd be like, oh, guess I can't take this. But with classes like the film, like the school news class and theater, I was able to kind of build up on those. So I think it's fun to kind of choose classes that you hope to kind of build up on in your high school career. So then you can, get to the upper level classes or the advanced ones, whatever, by the time you're an upperclassman, which is
Yeah.
fun. So if you kind of plan ahead and think, I think also if you are applying to college, it is good to see some sort of consistency or see that you picked an area and stuck with it. So like, for example, I'm very much into the arts. So, I took visual arts beginning my freshman year, and then theater, and then the news class, and then I took the second and third throughout high school. So it kind of just shows that I like found what I was passionate about and kind of stuck with it, which if you need to take different entry level classes to figure out what you're kind of looking for, what you're most interested in, like that's totally normal and okay. I just think it's good to kind of explore those passions your freshman year and see how you can build off of
Yeah.
those. If that
I would
makes sense.
say like yeah, definitely try to survey like as many classes as you can as if you are in college, like taking all these random electives or whatever, because if you don't know what you want to do, like the best way to find out what you want to do is just try random things, and like you never know, like have an open mind to things, because definitely when I was like debating between doing the digital media academy, one of the things turning me away was the fact that it was like web design and graphic design as well as film. I was like, I would really only do it if it was just film. But then I did it because my mom was like, are you sure you don't want to do it? And I was like, I guess I'll do it. And like that's literally where I learned about graphic design. And like I had no idea what graphic design was until being in these classes, which is so funny. Like I thought that graphic design was like video game design or something, which is so weird. Video game design isn't weird. It's weird that I thought that. But yeah, I'm just like really glad that I did it, because if I didn't, like, who knows where I would be now. Like, I don't even know what I would have majored in college if I mean, I guess I would have done film because I knew I wanted to do that from the beginning. But
it always comes. How many times do we mention the butterfly effect? It's so often.
But like, imagine if I was a film student. Like, I mean, I would love to be a film student actually, but it's just like not right.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of like, oh, what if I had missed my opportunity for the butterfly effect, and I'm not supposed to be in film? Imagine.
Well, you can still change your mind. That's the other thing I was gonna say, was be open to changing your mind, because I think I went through half of high school being like, I think I want to do film, and then it slowly, the more I did graphic design and became like realized how much I loved it, the more I was like. Then, like, I think junior year, I was like, I don't know if I want to do graphic design or film. And then it eventually turned into the fact of, like, I didn't even have to, like, make that decision of, like, do I do graphic design or film? It literally just, like, one day I was like, I'm majoring in graphic design.
Exactly. And now you have a degree.
I know. Now I have a degree. It should be coming in the mail pretty soon.
Carolina's just came in the mail today.
Oh. What the heck?
Well, she graduated like a few weeks earlier than you.
Yeah. No, that's like, what the heck? Like,
oh, like it's late.
Hers just came, so that means mine could be another month.
Who knows? Okay, this is my last more like academic kind of advice. And then I was thinking we could get into like a little bit more of the social aspects, because I feel like a lot of people, I remember going into high school, for me, I definitely was like, oh, the workload, like whatever, like that's going to change. And my biggest fear was making friends and just getting through that first day, you know, and adjusting from there. Because the first day anxieties, oh, I remember those. I remember it all too well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just remember like the times I would have to sit with people that I like did not know, and it was like the most awkward situations ever of just like sitting at this table with people that I like was not talking to and didn't know how to talk to, and then being like, okay, who can I sit with next lunch?
Exactly. Okay, so my last piece of academic advice is don't get on a teacher's bad side. And also just accept that you are going to have teachers that you don't vibe with. For me, this was a lot of the times in math. One of my math teachers junior year, she just didn't like me. And I tried so hard I think it was her teaching style that I didn't necessarily connect with. And I tried so hard to navigate that and try to adapt. But I think that something about my learning style she couldn't get behind. And I think that a lot of the class to me felt just kind of like writing equations on the board, and then just some random group of smart kids, like 3 of them who knew everything about math, just kind of blurting out like, oh, next you do this, the answer is this. And she's like, oh, very good. And then just kind of writes the next steps on the board without explanation. And I felt like the fact that I didn't get it the first time, or like I wasn't able to just comprehend every single formula or method in terms of math, I wasn't able to get it on the first try, and I needed time to sit with it, and I needed it explained like multiple times before it finally clicked, if it ever did click, because I swear math and my brain just don't do it. I passed stat. I'm sorry, AP exams came out today, and I did in fact pass stat.
Really?
Yes,
Oh my
I'm getting
gosh.
college credit for it. Yay! So I don't think I have to take math in college. That's kind of random.
Yay. I was just about to say, like, it feels so good to know that I have not done math or like an equation in like 4 years. It feels so good.
Yes. Also, Okay, quick rant. This is like a very much me allowing myself to get sidetracked, but I took AP Lit, and when I took this exam, I felt so good about it. The multiple choice, yes. All of the essays, I felt amazing about. And I wrote my last one about beloved, and I was like, oh, I know I'm getting all 6 points on this or whatever. I was even like, the sophistication point, yeah, I got that. I got a 3 on it, which I'm not mad about. Like, it's still
What?
passing, and I'm still going to get credit for
What the
it.
heck?
But I think now it covers like an English elective, but I might have to take one English core class, which, I mean, to be honest, I'd rather take an English gen ed than a math. So, not complaining about that, but I'm just like, can you
True,
grade that one
true.
more time? Like, I felt so good about that. I was like, okay, humbled a little bit. But
Dang.
this is so weird because I got a 4 in pre-calc. So I'm like, why do I keep scoring well in the math exams that I feel terrible on? And the English ones that I feel like I'm doing so much better on, I'm like scoring the same or
Yeah,
worse.
that's so weird. Well, you can try to take English like in the fall and have your like okay, wait, actually it won't Austin won't have fall. Never mind. I was
Yeah.
like picturing like taking English in this like beautiful like northern New England setting of like a nice stereotypical college fall, but you'll be in Austin, which is still awesome, but like not.
Yeah. And I think I passed AP Lang, so I'll get credit for that for a core class. I think it's just the last, because I need like 6 hours for English, and I have 3 hours for the core class. And then I think I get some hours for the English elective, but I think I have to take some sort of
Okay.
core class, but it might not be like a full credit one. I don't know. Anyways, that was me getting sidetracked, but I officially took 10 AP classes and passed every single exam. So
That's
not trying to sound
awesome.
annoying, but
Wow.
like also I pushed through those exams, and I'm very relieved. What was I even talking? Okay. You're not going to vibe with every single teacher, and that is okay. I think just try to stay on their good side. And this one particular teacher that I was talking about, I think it kind of bothered her that I didn't get it the first time, because I think she would had a lot of experiences with students who were very much gifted in the math department. And me and this other girl who I think math wasn't our strongest subject, I think that kind of frustrated her as a teacher, and maybe she didn't have the patience to kind of explain it again or nurture those students
Right.
that needed just one more explanation or
But
one more
like
day to
that's your
kind of sit with a certain
job.
unit. No, literally.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
your
felt like
job is
she
to like yeah.
Yeah, so I felt like when one of like the smart people would be on their phone the whole class, it wasn't a problem. But as soon as I pulled mine out for 30 seconds, it was like, you're distracted. This is why you're not doing good on the tests. And I was kind of just like, okay, whatever. Um, but I think just I kind of had to get to this point where I'm like, okay, we don't really vibe that well, but I still tried to adapt to her learning style and would ask questions and kind of be like, what can I do? And she would give me some resources that were supposed to help. They didn't, but yeah, I'd say just like don't there's going to be teachers that you do not vibe with, and that is so okay, but just don't make it worse. This is like literally bad advice, but don't if a teacher is under your skin, don't try to get under their skin, because obviously like they're the teacher and they kind of are the one in power here, the one like in authority, whichever whatever, but um I'd say that by kind of just pushing through and understanding that maybe this teacher isn't for you or isn't the best for you, kind of pushing through and not causing any sort of problems, whether that's behavior in class, or don't just give up and be like, well, I'm not going to try on the test anymore. Like, definitely just push through and know that it's going to happen, but you're also going to have amazing teachers that you love and definitely make you like subjects that you think you didn't like. But yeah, with bad teachers, just know that they're going to be there and don't make it worse. I feel like I'm a broken record now. But yeah,
I
that
think
was my
like
last academic
also
advice.
some advice this pertains more to like my college experience, but I had this professor that I didn't really like and I felt like she didn't like me. Like I just really felt like she hated me.
Hmm.
Because I also partly just like was kind of pushing back on some feedback, I think, a little bit. So I was like, oh my gosh, she definitely hates me for this. But then, like, at the end of college at SCAD, you can read your professor comments from each class. They write down, like, their thoughts on you, and you can, like, go to the student center and, like, look and read them.
That
And
is
she ended up, like,
terrifying.
I know, but she ended up, like, not having anything bad to say about me. So I was like, maybe she just didn't feel like going on a rant, or maybe she actually did like me. So I guess it's what I'm trying to say is like it's not that deep. Sometimes.
For sure. Okay, moving on to friend stuff. I don't have any particular. Actually, I do have one piece of advice. I literally feel like I'm on my soapbox here, acting like me in high school I was flawless. But this is honestly just me telling you, if you are going into high school, like what I wish I would have known. But I would say with a lot of friendships, don't force something that's not there. I think a lot of times, sometimes there's tension and you kind of just try to push through it. But I think that there are so many wonderful friendships waiting for you in high school. And if one is not serving you, or if a friend is making you feel bad about yourself, don't feel like you have to go to the end of the earth to try to fix something or fix yourself or fix this person. And sometimes it's just not going to work. And I think that like moving on from friendships or learning to kind of just be like, this isn't the one for me. I don't think this is mutually beneficial, and kind of having closure with that and moving on without ending on like super bad terms, I think is helpful, because I feel like sometimes in high school, there's so many lingering friendships that you hope will just go away at the end of a semester. Maybe it's like, when I finally stop having a class with this person, then I won't have to deal with them anymore. But I think sometimes just kind of having a little bit more awkward conversations of like, maybe this isn't working out the best for both of us, and maybe we need to distance ourselves, or just kind of like communicating your feelings, I think will be helpful, because sometimes I feel like there were a lot of times where it was people where I was kind of like, oh, I just have to push through. But then it ended up I ended up getting my feelings hurt or something like that, which I feel like I'm being very vague about, but do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like I also think it's good to not leave things on like a bad note, even if you like decide to not be friends anymore. You should try to like resolve things, or like don't do anything. I don't really speak from experience from this, but like don't do anything that would then make them like start a rumor about you, that then you want to be friends with this other person, but then they're like, oh wait, my friend told me 2 years ago that you did this to her, or whatever. So definitely my stance is just like staying out of drama in general, which is sometimes hard if like your friend like completely backstabs you and then you have to like fight back or whatever. But I tried to like stay out of most drama in high school, and like I did have people in my friend group that would like not like suddenly start not liking each other, and then like it started this whole thing. But I stayed very like unproblematic, so I never had to deal with any drama in high school. Honestly, I had more drama in college than high school, which I don't know if it's a good thing, but yeah.
I think having boundaries is important with friendships in high school, because you have to learn when to put your foot down and kind of assess which, like how you would define your friendship, because I feel like there's some people that would be in classes or something like that, but you wouldn't really see each other a lot outside of it, because you didn't have the same friend group, or you had different interests and extracurriculars, etc. And I think some of these friendships don't work outside of class, or kind of like you're not meant to hang out all the time on weekends or spend every second together, because it's just you're not compatible in that way. But that doesn't mean you have to completely ghost them. I think that in classes, you can learn that it's fine to have an in-class friend and you talk during classes, and maybe you'll occasionally text about, oh, how did the homework go for you? What did you get? Whatever. But then kind of knowing that, okay, we're not going to work on like an outside of school or outside of class level, because I think there's some people who, like we tried the friendship, it wasn't going well. We're not meant to be best friends, but it doesn't mean we have to completely give each other the side eye in class every day. Like we can still talk and be civil, but just maybe talk about stuff related to the class or more surface level stuff, because the second you get to deeper stuff, maybe it's like, oh, drama or something like that, So I think just kind of setting those boundaries can be helpful.
There's definitely people who like, and in college too, honestly, this is becoming more of a like compare and contrast between high school and college, but like I've always had that collection of like class friends and then like out of class friends, and like sometimes there's friends that just like it's good to see them like every once in a while or in class, but like when you're outside of class, you don't really have that much to talk about, or it's just kind of awkward. So, like, definitely don't try to, like, force something. But it is also cool to, like, if you have a class friend, to, if you want more friends, to be like, oh, wait, I could invite them to this, and then maybe we'll become, like, outside of class friends.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to have, like, different levels of friends, because it's just, like, I feel like they fulfill your needs in different ways. Like,
Yeah.
you can have really close friends that you're just, like, always joking with and, like, can go out with, or you have the class friends that, like, are there, they, like, know your work style and they can, like, support you in class. So, yeah, it's cool to have both.
Definitely. And I know this kind of contrasts the advice I was giving earlier about like, oh, explore those friendships. But I'm more talking about the ones where I feel like you just know it when you feel it. The kind of people that you have friends with in class and you definitely talk in class and, you know, like you would definitely consider yourself civil and maybe not like besties. But I think there's definitely instances where one of these in class friends will maybe say or do something outside of school. And it's kind of like, wait, we're not close like that. Like, don't say that to me. Or like, I feel like I'm being very vague, but it's just a lot of like a read the room situations. And I don't know. I have like a few
Yeah.
in mind. This sounds so bad, but I'm thinking of people that I'm just kind of like, you know, I can tolerate you for the hour and a half, but after class, like, don't talk to me because we have tried this. It doesn't work. No, thank you. Did you have any last remarks or anything you wanted to share?
I guess just, like, having this conversation now is making me realize how far away high school seems now, and none of it, like, seems to really matter anymore.
That's what
I
I
mean,
was going to say. I mean, high school was so recent for me, but I feel like now that I'm talking about all of this, one, I do feel very annoying being like, here's what you should do this. Like, I feel very much like I'm preaching and I think of myself like as higher just because I graduated high school, but it's definitely not like that. It's kind of just what I wish I would have known. But also when I'm saying all of this, I'm kind of like, did any of this matter? Like, I feel like high school is very essential. Well, obviously it's essential. Like, please graduate high school. But in terms of the stuff that I think that people get obsessed or like overthink a lot about in terms of friendships and classes and stuff like that, I really feel like you're there to, in Love Island terms, explore connections, get good grades, and just kind of figure out your passions and have fun with those. Especially
yeah, I
theater
would say,
because the theater industry it's rough out there. So do it in high school before you get humbled.
yeah,
Me.
I would definitely say, yeah, like, I feel like high school is kind of about, like, figuring out who you are and, like, finding what you're passionate about. I mean, that kind of sounds like college, actually, because college, you still have the flexibility to, like, find out what you're passionate about and, like, change your major if you need to or whatever. But, like, high school is where that starts, I guess. And, like, now, to me, I feel like I changed a lot more from beginning of college to end of college than beginning of high school to end of high school. Like, I definitely changed throughout high school a lot, but I
Same.
feel a lot more different since freshman year of college. Like, I just feel like there also probably
Yeah.
just the fact of, like, becoming more independent and moving to a different city for college, like, made me, you know, change as a person, or grow. So I I think my advice is, like, also just, it's so weird that I'm out of college. Like, I'm just sitting here now, like, having this realization. Like, that's so weird. But there's always, like, a second try in college. Like, if you go to college, it's almost like in high school you can learn what you made mistakes on, and then have a second try in college and do more things, or, like, be more social or whatever. Yeah. Do
Definitely.
you have any do you have any regrets from high school of things you didn't do or things you did do? My only regrets are not doing theater and not going to more football games, because I
Oh, that's funny because I actually only went to 3 football games and I have zero regrets. Like I literally give them so little thought. And I think that everyone kind of romanticizes the football games, but I went to 3
Yeah,
and I'm so okay with that.
I feel like I'm romanticizing it again as like an out of school person. Like I think at the time I didn't regret not going to football games, but I think it would have been, I think I was more just like nervous to like be around like the cooler people, because I feel like a lot of like the popular people went to football games and I didn't feel like I fit in with those people, so, or I just felt awkward around them, so I didn't go. But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
I,
What
I feel
about
like in
you?
terms of hobbies that I followed through with, I mean, like theater and student council and doing the school news. There was like a few other clubs that I did. I have zero regrets about those. I'm glad that I started them early and like stuck with them. And I think I had a good time doing that. In terms of classes, I feel like I tried my best. And even some of the rougher math grades, I really don't think, like, I'm really glad that I pushed through and didn't just give up because I hated the subject. Because at the end of the day, I got through it and it didn't negatively impact me that much. So I'm glad that I did that. And then I'd say my biggest regrets though are some friendships, which sounds so annoying. And I don't want to like speak bad on anybody or make anyone listening to this be like, wait, huh? But I think it's mostly just, I don't know. I feel like there were so many friendships that I had that just were not serving either party. And I think that both sides tried to force it and it just wasn't good. I feel like sometimes I just attract like not the worst of people, but like just people who I'm not compatible with because I'm like, damn, like I don't know. I feel like I'm such a people pleaser and I don't know, like I love to give so much in friendships and I think sometimes people take advantage of that and I definitely let myself be taken advantage of a lot. So that's definitely like a regret is like not just staying like true to myself. I don't know, it's so dramatic, but like then again, am I really gonna think about this that much?
I feel like it probably happened for like a good reason though, because I feel like now you are so experienced in like friendships and you know like what to do and what not to do, and you I feel
Oh,
like you're also really good at giving advice now because you like have been through it all.
I feel like that's a stretch, but thank you. Like I'm really like, "Ooh, okay." No, I think also being the chronically single friend, I can give good relationship advice because I have no experience, and so I can
Oh
kind of
yeah.
just look at it from the outside. But
Go check out our
anyways,
episode on that, guys,
I was just about
from
to say that how to be the
a bit
single
ago.
friend. Go watch it after this one. But anyways, yes, that's telepathy for this week, episode 97. That's a wrap on you. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Of course, the video episodes available on Spotify and YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, comment, like, and subscribe. Anywhere else you're on, give us a review, a follow, or whatever is applicable to that platform. We'll see you next Tuesday. Follow us on Instagram at
Wait,
the Telepathy Pod for more exclusive content.
I have something to say real
Oh yes,
quick.
speak,
Um,
speak.
I found out the other day that Brittany Broski just hit her 100th episode, and it made me kind of sad because if we had like maybe not skipped a few weeks, we
We
would
could
have gotten
have
to 100 before her.
we could have had that moment together. Oh,
Yeah,
that kind of
together or
sucks.
before her. I was thinking more just before her.
Oh, true. Beat her to it. I mean, I'm just kidding.
But
Shout out Brittany Broski. Anyways, 100 episodes coming soon. So, sorry, the 100th episode is coming soon, almost there. So definitely follow us and keep updated with that so you don't miss it. Wow, that sounded really like corny for some reason.
so you
Anyways,
don't miss it. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Thank you
Um,
so much for listening slash watching.
Thanks you guys for listening. We'll be back next week, like we already said. Yeah,
Bye.
bye.